Hello, and welcome to this presentation all about making the most of short-form video. Short-form video of 6 seconds or less is a format which has existed for a long time, but it has become increasingly popular over the last 2 or 3 years due to the perceived decrease in people's attention spans and tolerance for advertising, and as advertisers attempt to match their creative to new media environments. We have some findings from 2 different sources to talk about. One is Unruly's own archive of video tests broken out by length, to show how the length of the video impacts various brand metrics. And the other is an academic study into creative and media best practice that we carried out with the University of San Diego and the University of East Anglia. Let's set the scene by looking at the Unruly trends data. This chart shows worldwide data from thousands of videos we've tested over the past 3 years. And we are plotting the average number of people who felt an intense emotional response against the length of the ad. Our data shows a clear trend, that longer ads are more emotive. We see a similar pattern when looking at metrics such as recall and brand perception. Other research has also consistently shown that longer ads are more effective in a number of ways. They enable certain filming techniques, such as establishing shots to set the scene and dialogue. They contain more information, and they also give more opportunity for the viewer to process that information. They are better able to convey the passing of time and cause and effect, therefore creating a narrative. To summarise, longer ads are better for storytelling. However, this has to be counterbalanced against the strengths we see in shorter ads. The most interesting example is purchase intent. In this chart, we can see that the shortest ads trigger the highest intent to purchase. Therefore, we would always suggest using a combination of long and short videos in your campaign to take advantage of both sets of benefits. Short-form ads can be a cost-effective and scalable way to support your larger branding efforts. If you only use long-form ads, you might be missing that essential call to action. Whereas if you use only short-form ads, brand meaning will quickly stagnate. But as discussed, short-form videos face considerable creative challenges compared with longer ads. That's why Unruly decided to embark on a joint research project with the University of San Diego and the University of East Anglia to come up with some creative and media guidelines for making the best use of this format. We worked with academics from both marketing and film studies backgrounds, which has resulted in a really well-rounded set of insights. We looked at dwell times and engagement rates from over 500 Unruly campaigns, and broadened out this data set by looking at engagement rates from over 250,000 social media campaigns outside of the Unruly platform. Finally, we took our initial findings and theories, and we discussed them with industry experts, including creatives, strategists, and media planners. These were the key findings. We found that short-form ads can be optimised at 4 different stages using 2 techniques. Firstly, it is really important to understand the limitations of the format and to match the content to the format. The objectives of a short-form video should be almost completely different from those that you would set for a long-form video. Secondly, you need to communicate in a loaded manner, meaning you need to be very resourceful about using references you can draw on outside of the video itself to infuse extra meaning into the video and get your point across successfully. We can go into some more detail on ways of doing this stage by stage. At the planning stage, be aware that traditional storytelling does not usually work in short-form ads. If you do intend to use it, it has to be extremely simplified. But short-form ads do work well for non-narrative messages, that is, videos which have just one single point to make. They are also a great opportunity to experiment with non-traditional narrative, which is more fractured and evocative. And if you're using multiple short-form creatives, these lend themselves really well to serialized and vignette storytelling. At the writing stage, it's all about leveraging influences to quickly inject meaning into the video. This can be either referring to shared narratives and archetypes, or referring to well-known brand assets such as logos, characters, and previous campaigns. At the production stage, you need to have a very efficient film style for 6-second videos, with more intensity in both acting and editing. You can use stencil directing to convey what is happening without showing every moment. And by making sure there is stylistic congruity to your ads, for example, similar settings, props and characters, so that viewers can recognise them quickly. At the distribution stage, you can use Unruly's custom targeting in order to leverage what you know about the consumer's personality, interests and cultural leanings, their relationship with a brand and their previous exposure to your ads, to enrich the meaning of the video. And finally, if you have a longer video that you want to adapt, you can use Unruly EQ and Edit Suite for a data-driven analysis of the moments that will work best for short form. Now let's look at some examples of these techniques in action, starting with the planning stage and how to think about storytelling. The brevity of 6-second ads means that traditional storytelling is usually impossible. You're going to struggle to get a beginning, middle and end into 6 seconds. However, we do have some examples here of how this can work. You just need an extremely simplified storyline. In this example from M&S, you can see the beginning, middle and end of the creation of some hot cross buns. Many successful short-form ads are non-narrative. This is, they make a single point rather than tell a story. This Dunkin' Donuts ad makes the point that their frozen coffee is great to drink on a sunny day. You also have the opportunity to experiment with some non-traditional narrative. For example, you might start in the middle of the story, or the story might have no end. These fractured narratives require the viewer to put their own interpretation on the story. We have a couple of examples here from fashion brands, who've always been good at this more poetic style of storytelling. Finally, you can use multiple short-form videos to build up a story. This story can be serialized, in which case it's important to make sure you target people who've already seen the previous installments. Alternatively, you can build up a picture by showing moments in no particular order, which is called vignette storytelling. And we have an example of that here from Airbnb.
We went on vacation loving delivery, but we left loving homemade. We went on vacation with a toe dipper and left with a cannonballer.
At the writing stage, a highly efficient way to get your point across is to leverage shared understandings that viewers will instantly recognise. These can be well-known stories, archetypes, characters, or universally relatable scenarios. This often results in advertisers playing on stereotypes, as we can see in the next two videos. Road Lodge refer to the stereotype of the room-wrecking rocker, while Budweiser draw on the stereotype of the beer-drinking football fan.
Bad for room-wrecking rockers, great for sleep.
It is also highly effective to leverage existing brand associations. This could be a brand asset, such as a mascot or logo, or it could be by referring to the brand's heritage or a previous campaign. We have two examples of that from the entertainment industry.
I'll take the pretzels. Captain Cutter will have the peanuts. He's allergic to peanuts.
Oh, welcome to Baywatch.
Why does she always look like she's running in slow-mo?
You see it too?
When it comes to filming, it's important to use a highly efficient filming style to direct viewers' attention to your message as clearly as possible. For example, ultra-expressive acting, intense camera movements and editing, or using a single point of focus, which we can see in this example from Lidl. Many creatives also use something called stencil directing, where the video layers on a series of signals to imply rather than show what is happening. This can be done using still close-ups, sounds, gestures off-screen, text overlays, and editing to show the passage of time. One final point on production. It is advisable to maintain stylistic congruity both within the ad itself and between ads when you're creating multiple videos. Repeatedly using the same characters, set design, costuming, props, and film style makes your ad promptly recognisable, which is critical when you only have 6 seconds. Now onto the distribution stage. Our research has shown that short-form ads are a cost-effective way to support larger branding efforts, either teasing, reminding, showing different facets of a bigger picture, or following up with a call to action. Therefore, audience targeting is even more important when it comes to short-form videos, especially if the video does not make sense as a standalone piece of content. Targeting allows you to enrich the meaning of the ad by applying your knowledge of the consumer, their relationship with the brand, and whether they have been exposed to other videos in the campaign. If you don't have any short-form creative, we'd recommend using Unruly Edit Suite to test and adapt your hero video to create accompanying short-form videos. Our in-house creative team uses a combination of best practice guidelines and Unruly EQ data to identify the key moments of your video and package them into the most compelling 6 seconds. I'm going to show a case study that we did with SKU2. The mobile-optimized short-form version of the creative scored higher for visual attention, emotional response, and brand metrics. When I play these videos, you'll notice coloured heat maps moving over the screen. This indicates where the viewer's gaze was directed. As you'll notice, attention quickly drops off for the hero video, whereas the 6-second version maintains attention at all the key moments.
I just landed in Japan for the bearskin project. I'm so excited to be here. I can't wait to start. My very first bearskin shoot with no makeup on. I've been using facial treatment essence for weeks now, and I can feel it helping my skin. I'm a little anxious, but confident. I'm on my way to the studio right now, and I have no idea what to expect. We're finally here. Let's do this. I can't believe I did it. I'm so excited to go to the exhibition tomorrow. All of us have the chance to show our natural beauty. I just landed in Japan for the bearskin project. My very first bearskin shoot with no makeup on. We're finally here. Let's do this. All of us have the chance to show our natural beauty.
So, I hope those examples have given you some inspiration. I'll finish by recapping the key findings. When planning short-form videos, be aware that you need to take a different approach to storytelling. This can be non-narrative, simplified narrative, non-traditional narrative, or vignette or serialized storytelling. When writing short-form videos, take advantage of socio-cultural and brand associations to quickly inject the ad with meaning. When producing, be efficient with your film style, for example using highly expressive acting, a single focus, stencil directing, and stylistic congruity. And at the distribution stage, you can use Unruly's custom targeting in order to leverage what you know about the consumer to enrich the meaning of the video. Finally, We can help you create short form assets by adapting your hero video using Unruly EQ and edit suites. Thanks for watching.